Welcome to the Comic Bros Authority. Coming at you is Jackie.
Hi, and this is Miles.
Did I get that out of the park?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yay! I think I tried to do it one time, and I was like, "This is Comic Bros."
This is Comic Bros.
No authority.
You wanna know what? I realized it's actually just like we just abbreviated brothers, so it should be pronounced Comic Brothers. But we're so used to just saying bros. So
I mean, we are Californians, isn't that what we say? It should be Comic Hoes.
Comic Hoes.
We agreed on that, but
Yes.
I got overruled. But then Andre did say I'm one of the bros. So.
You are.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. My mom wanted a boy so bad, I turned into a tomboy.
Yeah, you did. That's why you dress like that.
And I'm wearing a Joker shirt right now.
Jesus.
And you know what? I love me.
Yeah. So if you haven't noticed today, we are missing one host. That's our usual guest host, Andre.
He jumped ship, which brings me. Yeah. No, he needed some time to himself. And that is, you know what? That is A-okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all need some time. But yes, welcome to the show, everybody. Glad to be here. I know we said we're starting the new year with some comics we don't like, but since our schedule is always in flux for some reason, we just decided to do this one here.
Life be lifing, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jackie, this was your choice.
Yeah. This is kind of a book me and you bonded over a couple months ago. Well, we just said that we both liked it. So
Yes.
It's so funny the way I came about this book too. So I actually got asked out on a date. The date did not go well, but
oh my God.
it led me to a lovely comic book store called Revenge of.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's how you found out.
That's how I found out about it. So when he asked me if I wanted to go there, I'm like, yeah, I've never heard of this place. And I, naturally I look up the comic book store, and in their stories, I see this lovely book called Out of Alcatraz by Christopher Cantwell and Tyler Crook.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I've always been fascinated with the story of the brothers who escaped from Alcatraz. And by weird coincidence, this was the night before that I had a flight to go to NorCal to see one of my best friends. And I was like, you know what? I feel like this is aligning with me. I'm like, okay. And when I went to the comic book store, right there front and center was this book, and I didn't realize it, but I was like, yeah, I actually saw this on your Instagram story, and I didn't realize it was signed until I checked it out, and I was like, I'm one of the chosen ones.
Who was it signed by?
Christopher.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No way.
So he did a book signing the day before.
Oh really?
So I didn't realize the book that I got was signed by him. So So yeah, like I said, date didn't go well, but I got a great book out of it, and I got one of my favorite comic book shops out of it that I've brought a lot of people to ever since. When I was on that date, all I kept thinking about the friends that I wanted to bring.
Oh, everyone would love this.
Oh no, for real.
Andre Miles.
I was like, this place is great. It has pinball machines, and the
shit.
It's very LGBTQ friendly, and it's just it's a great place. And then when I
telling me it's woke.
It's woke as fuck. Aren't we? If you're not woke, you're lame. But when I posted it on my story, that's when you had commented, and you were like, "Wait, I've read this." I was like, "Okay, cool. Now we can talk about this."
Yes, because this whole series, released in 5 issues, was released in the first half of this year. And then collected, I think in September or October.
Did you?
I'm sorry, this year, last year.
I knew what you. It's you remember how back in school when you had to remind yourself to change the year.
2001. I'm sorry, it's 2002.
You cross it out with our little mechanical pencils.
Yeah, exactly.
But were you reading it when it was coming out, or did you read it all in one when it was released?
I read it when it was coming out.
Oh, okay.
So I read it issue by issue. I collected it digitally. And it was one of my favorite reads from last year. It is because I love crime comic books.
Same.
I love crime.
I know. We should do crime.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Be gay, do crime.
Be gay, do crime. But I really love it. And at the time, because, when you talk about crime comic books right now, the big crime duo is Brubaker and Phillips.
Oh yeah.
Amazing stuff that they
Absolutely.
do.
Can never get enough of their. I haven't read one bad. Like I just have my I have my favorites. Don't get me wrong. I can rank my favorites, but I've never read an Ed Brubaker that I was like, this was fucking lame.
Yeah. I never read anything that was like really like shit or lame from them. Yeah. And just because every time they get on something, it's just like so damn good, like from both of their perspectives. I
started reading the Criminal series recently. Well, not recently, like 5 months ago.
Okay, so in between like them doing that and the Reckless series and everything like that, I have you read Reckless?
Reckless is so good. That's why I made that face. Sorry, that's why I made that face.
Yeah.
Reckless is so good. I actually was talking about that with Mark from Pulp Fiction. Is that his name?
No, Ryan.
There you go. I me and him were having a whole. I'm getting my hose mixed up. But yeah, no, I love the Reckless series. It's just so fucking good.
Yeah,
and Where the Body Lies.
Yeah,
it's
like because they're doing like graphic novel stuff. So the thing is, while in between, it's hard to find like another good crime series, and I think this perfectly like filled that void. And then now reading it the second time, like when you were like, hey, let's do Out of Alcatraz, I was just like perfect. And then reading it, I fell in love with it even more.
Me too.
Because Christopher Cantwell doing this, and I think Brubaker Phillips. You can't forget about like the other crime writers and stuff like Greg Rucka and
Whiteout, right?
Yeah, Whiteout, right. And then he does a bunch of crime stuff. He even like brings that crime into superhero comics.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. I do remember that.
Go check out our Whiteout episode, everybody.
Yeah. This is your sign if you haven't already.
And then Brian Michael Bendis, which I know you're reading.
Oh yeah, I've
Torso?
read. I already read Torso.
Okay.
I stumbled onto that one too. Andre has. Neither one of you guys have read Torso, right?
No.
You see the fact that I have read something the twins haven't read. You guys. Oh my goodness.
But
I've read a few of it. I mean, he did House of M. Like fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I've read mostly. I don't think I've read any of his independent work, but I've read a lot of his like Marvel work. And so like when it comes to those guys, I think Out of Alcatraz like perfectly like goes right up into that echelon of like, oh man, this is some of the great crime comics I've ever read. And it's such a sleeper hit too.
It is. It's a sleeper hit, and it's one of those comic books where you don't have to read any background lore. Like it's just it's a little helpful if you know a little bit of the story.
Oh, definitely.
I like these type of stories. I know it sounds bad to say. I like the type of crimes that haven't been solved, because why haven't they been solved? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's my favorite kind, and I like the conspiracy theories that comes with it.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard a little bit of these conspiracy theories.
I haven't heard any of the conspiracy theories, and I wasn't familiar with what happened, like the initial like prison breakout out of Alcatraz that inspired this story. That kind of I did all that information.
Oh yeah,
research like after.
Yeah. I mean, but at least it's one of those where you don't have to know the background story, but it makes you go and look at the background story. But me being a little crime fanatic ever since I was a child.
Yeah.
I used to watch America's Most Wanted and have my little notebook and in case I would catch somebody. But that's neither here or there. That's a whole episode that we'll do.
Yeah, my story is my dad loves mob stories and like mob books.
He
and
probably
mob
was
movies.
part of the mob. He doesn't want to tell you. Sorry, Richard.
But like my father was just always into that, so I grew up watching Godfather, Goodfellas, like Scorsese flicks and everything.
Same.
And the crime Scorsese flicks. That man has made 1 million movies, and only like 4 of them are actual like gangster films. But anyways,
at the end of the day, it's showbiz, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this story is just I fell in love with it even more this time, and there's so much greater appreciation I have for it. So
for sure,
I really love this. Let's give the elevator pitch of what the story is about. So,
absolutely. So, 3 people escaped from Alcatraz, and it's assumed that it might be 2 that escaped. And it's basically talking about what their lives might have been if they did survive.
Yeah.
So the real story is these brothers escaped. They don't know if they were if they survived or not. But in this one, it's 3 escaped. So it just kind of talk about maybe the lives they would have had, and then it shows like the FBI search for them.
Yeah.
And a forbidden love story. And
oh yeah.
and who doesn't love that? But yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, going into this, I really like the art style. I don't know what it's called, but if you look at like the cover of the book there, like there's a movie with a very similar art style called Anatomy of the Fall.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's an older film. I'm sorry, Anatomy of the Fall, Anatomy of a Murder. And it has that same kind of like art style where it's just very sharp lines and arrows and like a outline of a body.
Would you say it's abstract in a way?
Yeah. Let me pull it up for you right now. This, like, where you have this kind of style. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I could totally see how that would be inspired by it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that film, it isn't in the same vein as this at all.
Oh no, yeah. I mean I've never seen it, but
I like just like seeing that on the covers, like on the shelves and everything. I was just like, okay, what is this? And then I was like, all right, it's a crime book. And I was like, perfect. I am in dire need of a crime book because so far what I'm reading is just a bunch of superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And over the past like year and a half, I've been really trying to veer away from superhero stuff. I've been reading a lot of like independent or alternative comics. But yeah, this was such a warm welcome. Like, and I think like with some of the books that we've been reading recently, this like Klaus that we read last, like this feels like very complete. This feels like a greatly paced, a greatly complete story. And I was just like, oh, perfect. This is what I need.
It reminded me like why I loved it in the first place, because I mean, I read it back in like, when the fuck did I read it? I want to say, October. And I just remember when I read it, I loved it. Right. But then when I reread it, I was like, okay, yeah, I know October wasn't that long ago, but it reminded me, I'm like, okay, I wasn't just tripping. Like I loved it even more the second time around. I mean, you've had it happen where you think you like something, you read it and you're like, wait, no.
Because that's how I felt like going month to month with this book. And then when I got to that final issue, I was just like,
okay. Were you not satisfied with it at first?
At first I wasn't, but the second time,
right,
I loved it. So I was like, this is all I need.
When we get to the end, I want to hear why you didn't like it at first.
Okay.
But that is interesting to hear. What's funny is like, when I got into reading superhero stuff, like I was just like, that's all I want to read. But then when I started reading like more crime lore, I'm like, wait, this is actually what you are.
It's your shit,
like,
right?
Yeah. I was like, but this is actually what you like, So
that's exactly what happened to me when I first started collecting comic books, was around like 2007. 2006, 2007, and I was in there because Captain America just died, Civil War just ended.
Wait, that's so funny. That's actually when I started, not when I started reading comics, but that's like the type of stuff that I started reading first too.
Yeah.
Because Captain America was one of my favorites and I was reading, all that, but you got to start with a character somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I started like, oh, he's dead. Okay. And then I saw Criminal on the shelf and I was like, hold on, this is just, let's read this and see where it goes.
Oh, was it the very beginning of Criminal?
It was on its second story arc at the time.
Oh wow, so you were there from the beginning.
Yeah, so after I started, then I went back and I collected that first story arc, which is called Coward.
Yeah, I have Coward.
Yeah.
I have Coward. And what's the second one? The second one is the one I'm reading. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I want to say The Sinners, but I know it's about
I'll look it up while you're.
I think it's not Tracy Lawless, but it's the other Lawless.
No, Lawless. It's Lawless.
Yeah, it's Lawless doing it.
Let me see.
Is it that the second one called Lawless?
I think it is called Lawless. Yeah.
Okay, so going into there and everything like that, but that's how I fell in love with the genre, because I just felt like, oh, there isn't like any bombastic fight scenes. There isn't superheroes in tights. The art isn't flashy, which very appreciative at the time. And also at the same time, Sean Phillips was also doing Marvel Zombies.
Are they go hand in hand, huh?
Yes. And so that's why, like, here with Tyler Crook's work,
it is Lawless, by the way. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, it is Lawless.
Yeah, and then I got Robin into and I was just like, oh dude, like, you haven't read this series, like, read it. This is the shit.
Is that his type of shit too? Is like
me and him bonded over crime stories, right. And then like I remember us going to like Borders when that was still a store.
Oh my God. And you know, like for a second I was like bored. Oh, whew.
Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P. It's like
Oh my
Circuit City. Bye.
Dude, I know.
I remember I saw a copy of Gotham Central there, which is by Brubaker, by Greg Rucka.
That's on my to-read list too.
And just saying that, all right, it's a crime story, but without Batman.
Yeah.
And I was just like, sign me up, because that sounds so cool. But yeah, I mean, going back to this book, it's just, I liked it because like it's just a simple prison escape story. And I noticed that the first issue is very long. Yeah. Have you noticed, did you, when you were reading through this again, did you notice that first issue was very, like, it was meaty. It was like packed with a lot of setup that you needed.
You know what? And I think you explained why it was so long. I think it needed that like setup, and it was giving the readers maybe like I said, you don't have to know the story to go into this, but it was kind of giving them like, it was setting the tone, and which I appreciated, but nothing got lost in how long it was. Like there was nothing about it that I was like, you know what, they could have cut this. Like I feel like everything was necessary, and you know, even going back to like the artwork, like you know, showing when they, you know, they did escape.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the physical copy that Jackie has now.
Hold on. The physical signed copy that Jackie has signed by Christopher Cantwell. But you know, you're looking at this and then you see that Frank and Clarence, you know, they had escaped, but then you look in the background and then you see the Golden Gate Bridge right there. Yeah. And that's just like, I didn't realize that until the second time I read it, and that's just such a like, you know, that's such a good detail because, you know.
Yeah, so from where I see, like, something I want to point out.
And then Melinda lives right here.
Yeah, she lives over there. Like, I've never been to Alcatraz myself, but I've seen it from Fisherman's Wharf.
I'm going on a tour there next weekend. I'm really excited.
No way.
So by the time you probably release this,
you have to book that in advance.
I'm gonna do that on Monday. So by the time you release this, it'll probably be the week of. I'm really excited.
Do a little vlog for that for our YouTube channel.
Oh wait, that's not a bad idea. I'm glad I brought it up. I'm glad I'm a yapper. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No. So yeah, we have our two fugitives. We have three fugitives. We have Frank, Clarence, and
John.
John
gets quote unquote lost at sea.
Yeah, he gets lost at sea, and then Frank and Clarence kind of go to a rendezvous point where they meet up with.
Rendezvous, you say?
Yes. That's an in-joke. They go to a rendezvous point where they meet up with Miriam, who you don't know her name until the very end.
I can't believe you said her name already.
Yeah,
I know she was very secretive about it. It was going to show you, like, it was like showing you that everybody had a past that they were running from.
Yes.
And
that's the thing I think is a main a theme going on in this movie. This movie.
Which, no, it should be a movie. I'm glad you brought that up because one of my questions at the end was going to be, who do we think should be casted as this?
That's a good one.
But no, it's okay. You read my mind. You were onto something. But
yeah. So so the story is they meet up with Miriam. And Miriam, she is a white passing black female.
Yes.
So the thing is, she's drawn white, but the thing is, you kind of have that bank teller who tells her, like, hey, like, good luck playing that role in their world.
Like, when are you going to come back to ours?
Yeah.
And then I didn't understand what she meant by that at first.
Yeah, exactly. That like threw me off. I was like, what the fuck is she talking about?
I'm like, was she slut shaming?
Yeah. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like?
So, you know, earlier when I asked you, do you think this is more of abstract? Because looking at her, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought she was mixed, but now that I'm looking at her, I'm like, okay, maybe.
It's funny because last night I was watching a TikTok because I always doom scroll on TikTok before going to bed, which is awful. But I'm
trying to work on it.
I'm working on that too. I'm trying to read a book, but I have to keep everything.
Porn doesn't count.
No, the smut doesn't count. So
I'm just telling you what my therapist told me.
Oh my God. So I was watching this TikTok and they were talking about like white passing celebrities, like people who are really black, but they look white because Halsey is one. I had no idea, but Halsey is one of them. And then he went to make this argument that Rashida Jones isn't and everything.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, all right.
Even what's her name from, not Weapons. Why am I going blank? The Sinners.
Oh,
she has some. I mean, no, let me correct myself. She has some black in her, which is I can't remember the background, but I think it might be from her dad's side, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So, but yeah, it is interesting how a lot of people, they are white passing, but Halsey said it best. She's like, yes, I'm half black, but like I don't know the struggles of.
Yeah, because you can get away with it, and that's like part of Miriam's struggles in this book is that she may, but some people catch on, other people don't, and it's crazy. Mind you, this story does take place in 1962. Yeah. So it's of course it's at a different time.
Oh my God, wartime's different.
Yeah, and what I really like too is like I found out what I told this to Andre. I don't know if you'd heard the episode. It was like our comics catch up, but I told him like
the recent one.
Yes.
I mean, of November. Course, I had to listen to that, the one that I wasn't involved in. I had to see if I was mentioned at all, and I was.
Oh my God, like, I'm not sure. Like, wait, and like 40 minutes in, you're like, oh, there's my name drop.
Wait, what's actually funny is you brought up this book that we both loved.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. But the thing about that, I did mention what kind of reader I am. I'm a reader who likes characters, and I feel like the characters in this book are really like fully well-rounded. Like you can see like what their struggles are, you can see like where they want to be and where they are currently, and like all the kind of all the bullshit like the story is throwing their way, which I think Cantwell does like a tremendous job balancing all that out.
You want to see if you connect with them, basically.
Yeah, I like, all right, I can't connect to a murderer or a
criminal. Oh, no, I know. But I mean, I guess like you're trying to see like certain people's struggles, what they're relaying, the struggles they're relaying. Because I agree, I wouldn't connect to them either.
Yeah, because I know how it is. Like Miriam in here, she struggles with trying to get a house.
But it maybe we relate to the fact that everybody just wants a fresh start.
Yeah, and that's the main theme going on throughout this book is just freedom. Much like the movie Sinners, where it's about freedom and just trying to find your own way. Because we have the three fugitives. We have John, Frank, and Clarence, who are trying to escape prison to get their own freedom, only to find out that due to all the bullshit getting to the rendezvous point that they have, because they have a few rendezvous points, but getting to there, they would have to, the person breaking them, they would escape, meet up with Miriam, then Miriam takes them to a place in Northern California, Oregon, or whatever.
Yeah,
to
work off. Basically, honestly, they basically escaped prison to become
prisoners again.
To become, I don't want to say slaves, but like, I mean, hard labor, and I think that's what Frank and Clarence, especially Frank, was like so shocked about, is since they were down one man, she was like, the labor got upped. You're gonna have to, and so they know you're good for it. You're gonna have to do 5 years each. So
yeah, because it initially started with like 2 or 3 years, but since there was originally supposed to be 4, John.
That's right.
Yeah, there was originally 4, but that 4th guy got left behind. Then it was John, Clarence, and Frank who were on the raft. Right. Then John, quote unquote, drowned, and then it was only Clarence and Frank left.
And then Clarence and John are brothers.
Yeah, Clarence and John are brothers. So Clarence and Frank are the only quote unquote surviving ones. Right. So they had to double the work for them to make sure, like, all right, they paid off their dues for them to get a fresh start in Canada. And
it was Canada, right?
Yes,
it was Canada.
It was Alberta. Yeah,
there you go. That's right. Ketchup chips, man.
I know.
But you know, it's like one of the things that goes to show you is that freedom isn't free.
I was about to say it has a cost.
No, it really does. And do they really say what crimes they committed? I know that Clarence kind of gave on. And he was like, "I steal things, ma'am," but
they mention it. The thing is, it's not.
Oh no, Frank steals things. They both steal things.
They both.
But they don't really go into detail, huh?
No. Okay. The thing is about that is that I think it's never murder. They're not murderers, even though they do in the book.
Yeah.
But it's not.
That's not why they went to Alcatraz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be just robbing, like you could be a bank robber and end up in Alcatraz. Like my uncle, he was a believe he like robbed a few trains,
Oh,
and
really?
then he robbed a bank, and then he ended up in San Quentin.
Unfortunately, I have family members that ended up there too.
Yeah.
They probably know each other.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, you're a Slater. Good zoom tight.
Oh my god, I can neither confirm or deny.
No, yeah. So it's you don't. I don't think back then like you can just do like a simple crime like that and end up in such a hard place.
No, I agree, especially the way that they we don't have like the court system that they didn't have the court system that we have like today, you know. So
Yeah.
it was just whatever they thought like fit the crime. You know, they were just gonna
Just like, all right, just slap the cuffs on them.
No, they're just
throw
gonna,
them in there.
And especially like God forbid you were like a person of color, you know.
Oh yeah, you'd be extra screwed.
You'd be done. But you know, the crazy thing is they escaped from Alcatraz, and Frank has no chill.
No.
Why are you not? Why are you borderline putting? Why'd you put somebody basically almost in a coma at a bar? Shouldn't you be like chilling?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I would just. Well, it's because it's just like, oh, you. I think it's more of a you seen my face.
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
but you were there. He's like, I'm reading the part where he said, "Fuck your tractors, boss." He's like, you haven't seen what I've seen.
Yeah. So I mean, and then Clarence, he's young.
He's on the spectrum.
I don't even think I think he's just like simple.
Do you think he's
like,
just traumatized?
No, I think because you see him trying to read a book earlier and he can't pronounce any of the words. So I think it's just it's either he's a simple like good old boy.
Where's
like,
his
from the
heart
country.
on his like a good old country boy that just saw the wrong side of life or did the wrong side of life?
Yeah, and then like it's either that he's just uneducated and for lack of a better term, he's simple.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you have a good heart like that, even when you're a criminal, it doesn't always attract the right kind of people, and you become a pushover.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why like John in the book tells him like, hey, like
slaps the shit out of him
he slaps
multiple times.
Yeah, and he says like, I don't know how you survived this long without me watching over your shoulder. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
You're like, I can relate.
And no, but like he says that as like coming from an older brother's perspective. But the thing is, like Frank has been like looking out for him, and even though he's been like extra hard on him, like he tells him like when Clarence went to go buy marbles and shit and like stamps and postcards. Frank was just like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" Like,
no, I think it was Frank is the one who went to go buy.
Yeah, Frank is the one.
Clarence went to go buy. Didn't he buy candy? Oh, he bought cigarettes.
He bought cigarettes and marbles.
God,
those are marbles.
Yeah.
Those weren't gumballs.
Both of them went for separate reasons.
And there was dumb as shit.
I know, and they just like I think they didn't realize that their freedom wasn't free just yet. You know,
Yeah,
that they
were supposed to lay low.
They were supposed to lay low, and that's why by Miriam, or aka mysterious woman, that she was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I really liked her. I loved her. I liked how first of all, I love complex characters, and that's why I always connected with Scarlet Witch and Phoenix.
Yeah.
I love complex woman characters,
Yes.
But I like that you can tell that she was really clawing and fighting for a new life, and that's why she was mad that they were fucking things up.
I think that like that's a great comparison between her and Frank, because Frank is she tells Frank later on in the story like, hey dude, like you're not such a bad guy after all.
Oh my god, the tension between them. I'm like, just fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Just do it.
Just do it. You guys are in that abandoned town. Just do it.
Oh my god, we're both traumatized. Like,
yeah, because Frank, he's just like, she says like, hey, you're not such a bad dude, and he's like, yeah, I just had like just a bad run of luck. And that's the thing with her too, is that she is not saying it out loud,
right,
that she's having a bad turn of luck, but it's just that's what's happening to her. But Frank is the one who wears it on his sleeve.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's the difference between them. He's actually is showing it, and she's just kind of like, she's keeping it like, she's
trying to keep it together.
I mean, that pretty much describes men and women right now.
Yeah, right. Yes.
But I think the main point between all three of them is they all just want a fresh start. But then, it's hard to have a fresh start when you have the FBI breathing down your fucking throat.
I wanted to bring these next characters up because, like, while we have that main story of our fugitives and Miriam trying to help them get away, we do have basically our feds. We have the U.S. Marshal Bob Canton, and then we have FBI Cyrus. How do you pronounce this last name? Mikadoris.
You know what? You did it better than I could.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Okay. So yeah, we have Cyrus and Bob.
So that's what I have them written down. What's cute is I have Cy and Bob, and I put a little heart on my notes. Oh. I know, because so I have them as secret lovers with a little heart. Cy and Bob.
Yes. You have Bob reach out to Cy, telling him like, oh yeah, like, hey, we have these escaped fugitives. But this is the official story that they want to close the case, and the FBI doesn't. So you kind of find out like later, in which maybe I'm just like stupid and oblivious. Yes. But when he calls him on the phone to tell him about this case, and then he goes like, "All right, yeah, I'm really glad to see you there." And then Bob tells Cyrus like, "Tell me you want to see me."
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, these are really good friends.
I mean, I say that to my friend. I say that to your brother all the time. Beg me.
Like, just beg to see me. I want to hear it.
And then he leaves me on red.
Or Reddit said 15 a.m.
Just leaves me undelivered. But I think what was cute at first was like it looked like they weren't getting along, and that was all just for show.
Yeah, exactly. Like them doing their case, but they're like, "You can't do this. Right. What are we going to do?" And like that was so like,
you're out of line.
You're out of line.
But it was just all for show. Which, you know, you brought up about how the FBI just wanted to make it seem like it was closed, which isn't too far off from like the real story.
Okay.
So without getting too deep into it, there has been evidence that they survived. The real story is that they survived.
Oh, no way.
But the FBI will never confirm or nor deny.
I wonder why.
Because
it's been so long. It's been like 60 or so years now.
I mean, think about it. Do you think they'll ever want to admit when they're in the wrong, or when they haven't been able to solve a case? They'll just pussyfoot around, you know?
No, you don't say.
I mean, you know, but there's these little rumors that they went to Brazil, that the mob helped them. Shocker. But
okay, there's some stories like
it's
that. It's
technically still an open case,
really?
Even though they've said, oh yeah, they didn't survive, but there's been evidence that they did.
I looked into this a bit, like when Bob and Cy were driving down the road, and they're talking about a prison break and everything, and they goes, "Oh, you know, this is kind of like a tale of the Count of Monte Cristo."
No, yeah.
I was like, all right, let me look that up. You know, like I know of it through pop culture,
right?
Osmosis, but never really actually
read the book.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Chris Cantwell was going with that as far as like a literary reference, but it doesn't seem. The only time it does seem like it has anything to do with the Count of Monte Cristo is the fact that they were in prison and there's like an escape, but it was never like, it's never the same thing as in here.
You know, as a writer,
revenge is the main theme.
As a writer, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? You like it, just whatever makes you happy, you know?
I mean, like the thing with that is like, you look at superhero movies that are influenced by like other works of art. You know, you look at some X-Men stories and you go, oh, obviously, Chris Claremont is doing Starship Troopers, but with the X-Men,
right?
Or Christopher Nolan for Dark Knight Rises was doing A Tale of Two Cities, which, you know, it's just like, okay.
You could see where the inspiration was coming from.
Yeah,
maybe Christopher Cantwell is hoping that when this becomes a movie, that he can make, you know, that his inspiration. So he's planting the seeds, and
I mean, possibly, because this, I would have to, going back to the pacing of this book, is it's very movie structure like, where, yes. I mean, if you want to call it episodic because of the issue, sure, but like reading it as a whole, I just felt like, oh, this is a perfect 3-act structure. Like, I'm totally into this.
Right. No, absolutely. It's such a good read, and it all just blends together so well. And I just wasn't expecting the little forbidden love story between
Bob and Cy.
I loved it though. You know, when I saw them making out, I was like, scandalous. I love it. You know,
it's so, how do I say this? It's so, it was a nice touch because it adds that whole nother layer of, people wanting freedom.
Yeah, and it's not even just about wanting freedom from prison. It's from people's opinions or what's considered
or it was illegal back then.
Exactly, or what could get you killed. You know,
exactly. Yes.
You couldn't just be openly queer back in the 60s.
Yeah,
you know. So
I mean, there I'm sure there were people but it like being especially in these how do I say it, these government institutions like the U.S. Marshals,
especially being in the FBI. Like, oh my God, like let's just say it's one thing. Let's just say if you're openly queer, sure, but when you're in, even now, like from what I've heard, when you're in these police forces, it's like
and it's so crazy because J. Edgar Hoover he was openly racist and openly homophobic, and he ran the FBI for so long. But the thing was, it was like an open secret that he was
gay as fuck.
Yeah, he was gay shit.
he was oh my God, he was gay as fuck. But that's what it closeted homos.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And it's just like, so it's unfair for the other queer people around that same time, you know, and you can, so you get that kind of duality with our main trio of Miriam, Clarence, and Frank, and then with Bob and Cy, everyone is just looking for freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. In different ways, they're all looking for freedom.
Yeah, that's why I would compare it to the movie Sinners, because it has that same theme of freedom. Because like not only are not only is everyone at the club that the twins make in there like looking for freedom to express themselves and to like have some sort of freedom, if you will, but also the vampire is looking for that as well, because you look into the Irish background and everything, and also being like a vampire, he's vilified and everything, but of course he's the main villain, right? But at the same time, that's what they're all searching for in their own sort of way.
Yeah, I didn't catch that theme until the second time that I read it too,
Okay.
So I like rereading shit. You catch on to things that you didn't realize the first time.
Yeah, that's how I feel with like Grant Morrison's work. You'll get more and more by multiple readings.
Oh, I know. When we read Claws, I read that twice.
Yeah. No, you'll see it if we ever get to Final Crisis and Batman.
Well, I started reading X-Men recently by him. Oh yeah, on my rooftop at work. I like to brag so much about.
I know she does. She was just saying it before we started recording.
I love annoying him with it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with having to reread something to catch on to it. It's just people, I feel like, might give up the first time,
It's and unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing on their end. Like I get it, but like I think that sometimes the best work, you realize the art of something once you watch it a couple times, and you're just like, oh, okay, I get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's exactly how I feel about David Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away about a year ago.
Right.
But his movies, I watched maybe
Remind me what he did again. I feel like that's sitting on the tip of my tongue. What did he do?
I don't know if he's. I don't want to be that film bro.
Just be a film bro.
Okay, so he did Mulholland Drive.
I like Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive. What's the other one? Blue Velvet. He did the original Dune. It's Dune. I know you don't, but the original Dune is kind of a so bad it's good. It was just taken away from him. Blue Velvet, Elephant Man, Eraserhead, but he has these very experimental films,
right?
And the thing is, when you watch it, and he also did my favorite TV show of all time is Twin Peaks, which had a companion movie and then a revival.
And he's a twin. Season. Oh my god!
Shut up. No, but that's the thing is like you watch it, you kind of take it at surface level at first, and then the second time is when you start dissecting it a little bit more. And that's, I think, like the way I feel with this one, where I'm just like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing a through line here with all the characters and what they really want.
it's not just as simple as like, ooh, the bad guys escaped, but like it's so much more complex than that.
Yeah.
It gets even more complex when fucking John comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah, you find out he survives.
Yeah, and he's pissed.
And he's pissed.
He's pissed.
He's right on their tail the whole time.
And then he fucking kills that guy on the fucking train.
Oh God.
Which, by the way, fun fact, my mom used to do those little train jump. What was it called? Like, I don't know, train hops or whatever. My mom was crazy. She was a wild one. Go for those train rides, you know?
I just used to crush like pennies and quarters on the train track.
Oh my God, you're a little wild one, aren't you?
So I did want to point out, like at a certain point when our fugitive, our boys get taken hostage, and then they have to try to kill that one woman, Rose.
Make it look like a suicide. Oh my fuck! And Miriam is just pissed at this point because going back to this motherfucker had to go get some post stamps, right?
Yeah.
And he was just like, and at first I think they're trying to trick him, and he still just keeps getting one on, and then they're just like, it wasn't working out in their.
Yeah.
It wasn't working out in their favor, but Miriam, she was gritty, man. She's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I think she was like more pissed off than anything because they're just like, you guys just keep fucking up everything I'm trying to do. It's supposed to be a simple job. It's supposed to be a simple job, and you guys aren't fucking listening.
It's on the platter. Yeah, and yeah, they basically got tricked, and it put a whole fucking, nail in their plans.
Yeah, so I think when Rose, when they start talking about freedom in that part, because she was like, that's the thing with freedom is you don't know what to do with it once you got it, and some people just end up going back, and that's what Rose does. She ends up going back to her farm.
I know.
And then she bumps into Bob and Cy.
But I think she thought it was a fucking trap. And, it's just, that was such a scary situation for her. But that also comes to show you, even like, people who do go through DV, it's just like, yeah, maybe I could go this way, but this is what I'm used to,
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just,
I totally understand that. The point I wanted to bring up about that was, I think it was Bob who told her, he was just like, hey, did you run into the fugitives we're looking for? And she was just like, they didn't tell me where they were going. And then he threatened her with immigration.
Oh my God. And okay, that pissed me off because I was rooting for them.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
I was rooting for, I'm like, bitch, what?
Exactly. So the first time I read it, I was just like, oh, that's fucked up. But then, like, especially today reading it, what has been going on in the news.
Oh, absolutely. I just finished like rereading this last night and everything that's been happening. When I finished rereading that, I wanted to throw my fucking book.
I was like, I was rooting for you, bud. Yeah. Like, now I do not give a shit about
Do we need gay rights? I'm just kidding. As somebody who's gay, yes, we do need gay rights, but it pissed me off. It pissed me the fuck off. Oh my God. What was funny? That tractor guy that got jumped when the detectives came to question him, he's all like, so you're telling me they escaped? He didn't even say, he's like, actually, I don't think it was them. Yeah. He didn't want to let up that the people who escaped, or one of the people who escaped jumped him. So I thought that was low-key kind of cool and funny. And then even the barman was all like, I believe whatever he says.
Whatever he says goes.
So that was low-key, I'd hold that like a badge of honor. I'm like, yeah, one of the Alcatraz people beat my ass. Yeah. And what about it?
I would be like, shit, it's a badge of honor.
Right?
I had to do it.
Oh my God.
No, but that's why it's just, especially everything going on. I was like, fucking Bob, dude. Like, usually I don't let like personal shit like affect me like that, but like, yeah, I did want to like.
That was so triggering. And how could it not be like, with everything going on?
I was just like, okay, I did make a note here saying it makes the character less empathetic, but how I would get around that in my mind, because I think critically.
Wait, hold on. Breaking news.
Oh, hold on. Miles is actually thinking here.
Wait, is that smoke coming out of your head?
What? No, but it just goes to show you like the kind of the nature of all these characters is that they all do something dubious. We're kind of rooting for them. We're rooting for everybody, but they all have this gray nature. It's not black and white. It's
But maybe that's what he wanted. I'll let you finish, but I think that's what the writer wanted. I don't think he really wanted us to look at anybody with like so innocent.
Yeah, because like you look at these two characters, they're on the right side of the law. They're chasing after fugitives. They're doing their job.
Right.
They're doing their job. And the thing is, these people escape from prison.
That's what everybody says. They're just doing their job.
I know. That's
I know you're
defense.
not defending for them. I know.
Like, but that's the thing. Is just like that's.
I think they're so desperate to get to the truth. They don't care what the fuck they have to sacrifice.
They were going so long for them. They got this kind of this like code of valor and everything, where they're just trying to get to the bottom of this. Where did these people go? Because that's what they need to do. And then you get to that, and I'm like, oh
I
boy.
know. You know what? Even though we hated that in a way, now that we're talking about it, I kind of like that because
I did too.
We have a reason to hate everybody in this book.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, even though that part like upset me, especially current events, I didn't feel the need to totally disregard the character after that, because I'm just like, all right,
you didn't want to throw away the whole character, everything that they like we felt and built for them.
Exactly. Where I'm just like, okay, now I know every character in this story is shitty, and they don't have a black and white moral code.
Right.
It's just like, all right, we're going to get the job done by any means necessary. That's what they all go through.
And they didn't care what the fuck they sacrificed. And that's for anybody. They didn't care what the fuck they sacrificed.
Yeah, exactly.
They were going to get to the finish line.
Yeah. So that brings us to the final issue of the book, which I know we have said in the past with at least like, what was that book that we read? Killer Groove, where we felt like the last issue, like, was extremely rushed.
And who the fuck knows what was going on behind
the
scenes, because that book did have so much potential, and I know we already talked about that, but like I
think this book, when I first read it, I kind of felt that same way, where I was just like, oh, this is so fast paced.
Out of Alcatraz, the first time you read it, you felt like, oh, interesting.
I felt like, because it was 5 issues, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, we were getting to the point why you didn't like it. There we go. We're circling back. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, why did that finish so quickly?
Mm-hmm.
And like these characters ended up where they were. And I was a little unsatisfied with that, but overall with the story, I really liked it. But it was like this read where I'm just like, oh, this is perfect. This is fine. Like I'm totally okay with this ending.
So, okay, that brings me back to my question. You felt like it was rushed the first time. You just felt like it was rushed the first time around that you read it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you like it the second time.
Yeah. The second time was totally like, I think reading it as a whole in this big chunk instead of month to month,
right,
really helped out that pacing. And then by the time I got to that last issue, I was just like, okay, now I get it, because it does feel like
you read it all in one sitting, and then it just
instead of just reading it like, like the 10th this month, and then the 14th this month, and the 26th this month, and then back to the 10th the month after, like, instead of like stuff like that,
it gets convoluted in a way.
And then plus like all the other shit I'm reading, all the books, like work and everything, I just forget.
No, for sure. And you forget why maybe you were enjoying it in the first place. And I kind of felt that way about Claws. I read it in very separate times, and then when I actually read it all one through, I was like, wait, okay, I get it now. I understand. And sometimes I think that is necessary, and I think that's why sometimes I wait for comic series to be released as one.
That's what we call trade waiting.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Except for Absolute Batman, I'm staying on those nuts.
The Absolute series and Ultimate series,
I haven't read the new Ultimate series. I read the old Ultimate series.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'll get on.
Well, read it after you read this Ultimates 3 and Ultimate.
God,
it has nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying, like, just go in order.
I know, fine.
No, but what did you think about this ending? Because I don't want to give too many spoilers away, because this is a fairly new book.
We never gave a spoiler alert, and I feel like Andre would be shaking his fucking fist right now.
He is. He's listening to it in the future right now, and he's hearing us, and he's like, God damn it, these two didn't give the spoiler warning.
My thing is, I kind of do want to go in depth with the ending, because what I wanted to bring up about the ending is when John and Miriam are basically digging his grave.
Okay, this is your spoiler warning.
Spoiler.
Okay, so we're about to get into spoilers, and then if you hear us talking about, other stuff, then yeah. Okay, anyways.
This is your warning about other stuff. But what was so interesting about that whole scene to me is, Clarence got in the car, and that's when John and Miriam, had their very, like, and I call it an intimate moment. It was them, looking at each other, talking, and that's when Miriam gave her real name. I don't know if this makes sense. I feel like that moment to me was like a very reverse of Mice and Men moment. You know how Mice and Men.
Oh yeah.
Do you get where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Where Clarence, but except for Clarence is the one in the car.
Oh, nice pickup on that.
Thank you. I've been thinking about it all day. So I was like, does that make sense? But like, yeah. So like, he's in the car and he's fucking bawling his eyes out, And the reason why I think that's reverse of Mice and Men is we know the story of Mice and Men, where was Lemmy his name?
I think so.
Something of that sort.
It's been a while.
Same. And I think we saw that scine reenacted so many times in theater too.
Yeah, I know. Everyone does that scene.
Everybody.
Like, all right, choose a scene, and everyone goes, Mice and Men.
I know. Yeah, that scene, when I reread this the second time, we talked about this earlier. I'm a very forgetful person.
Yes.
So I forget. You can tell me all your secrets, and I either can't hear you or I just forget. But when I was reading this and seeing Clarence is like just him bawling his eyes out, my heart was just breaking for him. And then he was just like, fuck it. And he hit his brother. He ran over his brother.
Yes. Yeah.
And low key, I'm not encouraging people to do this. I loved that for him because we talked about how he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a very kind person, but he's very simple. But that got taken advantage of.
I would like to add on to that is because like his brother, like in that same issue, like, I don't know how you got so far without me, and when he yelled at him and smacked him, but this is Clarence taking over his own destiny.
Exactly. But it even comes to show you who knows how like his life was growing up with his brother. I feel like he's always been picked on.
I have that feeling too, like, because my dad has a similar story about his younger brother who was just very nerdy, and like, I wouldn't say nerdy because he wasn't as nerdy as my dad. If you knew my dad's a fucking nerd. But my dad.
His dad has Thanos tattooed on his back. By the way. I just want to put that out there.
Exactly. Like my dad is a huge nerd, but the thing is, my dad was always like he grew up in a time where it's just like you always fought.
Yeah. And you had to. Oh my God, I know.
You had to fight to survive. It was just like that's how it was, like being a Mexican American in Southern California in the 60s.
Yeah, I know.
And but his younger brother, he would always, he'd look out for him. He got picked on. He wore glasses. He wore thick glasses.
It's just the people that look vulnerable is the type that unfortunately would get.
Yeah, unfortunately,
still gets picked on.
Yeah.
On the ones that look vulnerable.
Yeah.
So Clarence gets his redemption in a way by killing his brother, which sounds fucked up to say, but he saved Frank and Miriam's life. But then, of course, that's when the FBI agents show up, and they're just they're like, whoa, and low-key, I forgot about them.
Yeah,
that's what's so crazy about this story.
Yeah, exactly, because
I'm focused.
I'm so enthralled in like the fugitives subplot that I forgot about the federal agents subplot.
Yeah, exactly. And then when they came out, they're like, Jesus Christ, federal agents, and that whole scene was so fucking intense. And then you see Clarence and Frank trying to get away, and then they just kept saying over and over again, we're gonna make it, we're gonna be okay, we're gonna make it, we're gonna be okay. And then it flashes back to them at Alcatraz, and I guess that was their mantra that they kept saying over and over again. And I was rooting for them.
It's heartbreaking.
It is. I was so rooting for them, especially Clarence. One of them, somebody,
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of wild at the end of it. Miriam was the one who survived, and lo and behold, fucking airplane comes out of left field.
Yeah.
And I know something we haven't touched on much was, the agents, how they kept talking about how they just want to get away, just the two of them, and they knew it would be almost next to impossible. But that's when,
like, how can they leave their jobs? How can they have a life where they can not worry about anything and just love each other?
Yeah, and that's what was so cute is when they first said "I love you" to each other. And that was so sweet.
That was very sweet. I was like, oh man, this is very great. I was like, I love this.
Me too. And like, it's one of those forbidden loves that you really wanted to work out, and it's just like I can't remember which one of them said it. It's like I don't care where we go.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about any of it. Like we're just by any means necessary. And that's when that's when they said, like you said, it didn't matter didn't matter where, free men.
Yeah.
Free men,
and this is their only shot. And I like the line that they say when they're in the plane. They're like, I feel like we stole this.
I know.
And then he was like, yeah, well, maybe we should be in jail.
Oh,
I was just like, okay, one, funny moment. Two, it goes into the whole theme of imprisonment and freedom. And I was just like, oh, that's very interesting. Now, I want to get your thoughts on the last page of this story.
Oh, before we go there, they sunk the bodies into Alcatraz Bay.
Not into Alcatraz Bay. They sunk it in
Boundary Bay. Sorry.
Boundary Bay.
They're still there to this day. You want to
go find it?
I'm going to the tour next week. Okay, going to the last page about there is no road.
Yes. What do you think about that? Do you think now that the story is over, do you think that Miriam found her way? Do you think she found what she was looking for, or did she just keep on driving?
So I'm so happy you asked me about that, because when I got to this last page, I was like, wait, why don't I remember feeling this heavy the first time around, And I think it just comes to show you that sometimes if you just keep running and running, you won't always find what you're looking for. And, and that's why they said, like, this is the furthest you're going to get, you know, like, and the look of exhaustion on her face, she's like, fuck, like there is.
Yeah. Cause she said she wanted to keep going north until, people just didn't care what she looked like.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, you just have to not care. I mean, it's easier said than done. This is the 60s,
Yeah, exactly.
This is the 60s. So I shouldn't be speaking out of my ass, but like, I feel like there was only so much running that she could do. And I would like to think in a fairy tale world, Miriam got her happier ever after,
I would like to, that's just like the optimist in me.
Of course.
It's like, I would like for her to at least have found her freedom.
Yeah.
Instead of just like reaching this dead end and then just looking a little defeated. But I wanted to talk about for a bit Tyler Crook's artwork.
Oh yeah.
Man, this guy, he has kind of like this watercolor like painting style to him.
Right. Oh my God, it's so funny. I randomly opened the book and then like all I see is what's her name?
Oh yeah, Rose.
There was like slamming the bottle into him, and but it actually does play off of like the watercolor and how even like the glass shattering on his face.
Yeah, you can see it in some panels too, where it's just like, I think I mentioned this with like the background characters from Dan Moore's art, where it's just like, oh, did you look at that? Just like dots on the eyes and like a smile. Like you see that in this book like quite often, and it's so simplistic, but it works, and you understand. Right. Like if you go a few pages back, you can see Clarence's face is the same way. Like
but even Rose's face is the same after she slammed the bottle. And
exactly right there,
like right below it. Yeah, the little dots, like eyes. Yeah, but it works. It's like you said, it's so simple, but it works.
Yeah, and I think what also like works really well is the landscape shots where it's just like wide double page spreads. And what my favorite part of this is in that last issue where you do a zoom out of the two characters, Miriam and Frank, when they're standing at or kneeling before their graves.
Yes, I like this.
Turn the next page.
Oh my God, I
see how everything is so small,
and then
the lettering,
everything works on this so beautifully. And if they do this as a movie, which God, I hope they do, and it comes out amazing, they need to make this possible.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing is like, all right, so our angle is so far back that like we could hear them like talking in the distance, like them saying their lines, but it's like all the way back. Mm-hmm. Like you're just getting like everything else.
You know what I just realized too? And then you see the FBI agents
writing
up.
Let me look.
You see them right there.
I didn't catch that.
Right.
I didn't catch that. That's actually really cool. I didn't catch that before.
You see, it comes to show you when you notice things when you reread it like a few.
We talk about simplicity in this artwork, but like, damn, like that's like a lot of good detail in there.
Right?
Yeah, and like also when you look at like the colors of this book,
I go to the next page.
I know, then that's switch full of colors. I think like it does a good job with like its contrast between these colors, because a lot of the colors just feel like there's a lot of browns going on.
Yeah.
So it keeps it like compared to like a Spider-Man book or Superman, where everything's very flashy. Fuck, even Batman, where everything's very flashy in these colors and everything. But this is very subdued. It makes it feel grounded. It's not dark like, say, like, I don't know. I think about like crime. I think of like David Fincher, but it's nothing like that. But it's good where it feels, you know, like it feels very lived in, you know, and it like how you like remember the past.
To appreciate artwork, it doesn't always have to be like flashy or like
exactly
in your face. It can be very like subtle, and if you're paying attention, then you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And, yeah, that was actually really good. I didn't even notice that before, but
that was really cool that we discovered that.
Yeah, I think like a lot of those like landscape shots and like the final issue like really worked for me. I wish I had. I'm gonna buy this in print because
he's about to jump me from my book.
As soon as we turn this off, like
any fucking minute,
you're gonna post up on your Instagram. Look out on our Instagram, everybody. Follow us at the Comic Brothers Authority.
No, Comic Bros
Authority on Instagram, and you can see that the next post we post up is going to be Jackie with the black eyes. I hold up our Alcatraz copy.
You know what? And it's a signed copy too.
But
did you get this on Hoopla?
No. I was getting it on Comixology.
Oh, okay. It's like boobs. It's one thing to look at it on paper, but it's one other thing to have it in your hand. You
That's true. That's true. I love physical copies, and that's why I would like. There's just a lot of deals with digital, so it's easy. It's easier for my wallet to do that. But like, I truly love holding the book in my hand, and I smell books. I love the smell of books.
There is nothing like having the actual book in your fucking hand. You know.
Yeah. So hold on. What's the look? Turn the all the way the back cover. What's the cover price on that?
Oh, I got this for $30. $29.99.
$29.99. But
it was signed. I know I've said it like 10
oh my
times.
God, it was signed.
It was signed.
Okay.
But yes, $29.99. So it's it doesn't break the budget too much.
Yeah, so you can find it for a discount. I'm pretty sure where they're doing sales on comics online. You can find it at InStockTrades.com, PanelBoundComics.com.
Even check your local comic book store, because they'll even just have, sometimes they'll even have daily deals.
Yeah.
You know, and you just never know when you'll find a good deal, and that's why it's good to support your local comic book shop, your library.
Support small businesses.
Always. So
yeah.
But hold on, out of 5 stars.
Oh yeah.
Out of 5 stars, we always gotta do the 5 stars.
Shit, I'm gonna have to go with the 4.5 out of this. It's almost perfect for me. Almost. Yes, I would have to say yes.
God,
I know I gave our last book 4.5, but I would have to. I'm totally in love with this book, and I'm so glad you decided to choose this.
We never usually agree on the star, but this time I'm gonna have to agree with you, because I love this book. I don't have much complaints about it. So 4.5. I wonder if Andre would give it a 4 to be different.
I know he'll just be the contrarian. Just be like, oh my God, it was fine. It was the last issue, blah blah. And I'm like, I'm fine with the last issue now. Yes, it's fast, and that docks at 0.5, but whatever. It's fine. I love it.
I'm okay with a 4.5. Also, what I'm not okay with is the fact that Andre hasn't read this. I even told him
he hasn't. He just read the first issue, and that's it.
I told him. I asked him. I'm like, if I let you read my autographed copy, would you read it? And he, you know what he said? And I was like, never mind. Nope.
Jesus Christ.
So that's why I'm happy we reviewed this, and maybe this will make him read it.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
All right. Thank you, everybody. That was Out of Alcatraz by Christopher Cantwell and Tyler Crook.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we had a good time, just us two doing this, because we're usually not friends. We never hang out.
I actually just met him, so
I know. I just met her too. I've never seen her before this episode ever. Even though I think I may have seen you for the first time in 2011.
Yeah, well, according to you, me and you were friends first.
We were.
I don't remember that, but then again, I don't remember shit.
Yeah, I know. So after this, we should be doing our comics we hate. I know, and that happens. If not, then we got another book coming up for you, in which we don't. I mean, it's probably going to be my pick, if anything.
No, we have to read. We have to read the terrible comic that we're gonna hate.
Yes,
we have to. For the love of God.
Yeah. And I know after that we should have we're going to do Usagi Yojimbo, the Grass Cutter Saga, which I'm very excited to read. I love Usagi, but I haven't read this story particularly, and I really want to get into like doing all kinds of comics, including animal comics.
Okay, I'm down. And
okay, perfect.
You have been wanting to read this for a while, so no, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, yay. All right, so yeah, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye. This is Jackie signing off.
This is Miles signing off.
We love you.